The Mind of a Superhuman, GH3, Strategy and Ruthlessness. Pete 14, Tactical Pattern Recognition. You ever meet someone who always seems one step ahead? The type who predicts problems before they happen? Who always wins no matter the game? Well, my friend, they're not psychic. They just see the matrix, the hidden patterns that run the world. Today, I'm going to teach you how to do the same. Welcome to Tactical Pattern Recognition, the secret weapon of spies, CEOs, and ruthless strategists. Act 1. The world runs on patterns. Most people never see them. The truth is, everything in life follows patterns. Human behavior, markets, war strategies, even relationships. The problem? Most people never notice. They walk through life reacting instead of predicting, like sheep to the slaughter. But the top 1%? They see the code beneath reality. The key to ruthless strategic thinking is learning to recognize patterns in people, in competition, and in the battlefield of life. Once you do, you can predict and control outcomes before anyone realizes what's happening. Act 2. Reading people like a spy. The first battlefield? People. If you can read someone's patterns, you can predict their next move before they make it. Let's break it down. How to read behavioral patterns. Baselines matter. Everyone has a default way of acting. Watch how they behave when relaxed, so you'll notice when they change. Micro-expressions and tells. That quick eye flick before they lie, the fake smile, the too long pause before answering, gold. Emotional loops. People repeat emotional cycles. If someone overreacts every time they're criticized, use that against them. Routine predictability. People are creatures of habit. Track their patterns and you'll always be ahead. Learn to read tiny changes in behavior, and suddenly the world becomes a predictable game board. But reading people is just the beginning. Next up, recognizing enemy patterns and exploiting them. Act 3. Pattern recognition in competition and warfare. The best strategists don't just respond. They track patterns over time and then strike at the perfect moment. How to recognize enemy patterns. Track historical data. Your opponent's past moves predict their future ones. Review their history and you'll see their favorite plays. Bait and observe. Set up controlled situations to see how they react. Do they always retreat? Always attack? Pattern disruption. Once you know their default strategy, break it. Force them off their game. Exploit recurring weaknesses. If someone always crumbles under pressure, turn up the heat. If a competitor always follows trends, set a trap with fake trends. Now that you see patterns in enemies, let's talk about the highest level of tactical thinking, predicting unseen forces that move the world. Act 4. Macro patterns. Predicting the future like a mastermind. True strategic thinkers don't just analyze people or competitors, they analyze history itself. Nations rise and fall in patterns, markets crash in cycles. The best in the game? They see it before it happens. How to recognize macro patterns. Look for cycles. Economic bubbles, political upheavals, military conflicts. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Pattern mapping. Compare seemingly unrelated fields, finance, war, psychology, and find recurring structures. Anticipate social shifts. Study how technology, psychology, and geopolitics shape the next decades. Master controlled disruption. Once you know the larger trend, position yourself ahead of the curve and profit while others react. Most people, they live in the moment, reacting like clueless chess pieces. But the ruthless thinkers, they see the board 10 moves ahead. Act 5. Installing pattern recognition into your mindset. You don't need superpowers to predict the future. You just need pattern recognition. Here's how you develop it starting today. Your tactical pattern recognition training. Start tracking daily patterns. Study people's behavior. Track routines. Find their loops. Keep a pattern journal. Write down every pattern you notice. In people, businesses, markets, relationships. Play prediction games. Every time you meet someone, predict their next move. Every time you see news, predict the next event. Test and refine. The more you test your pattern models, the sharper your instinct becomes. And just like that, you're no longer a player in the game. You're the one writing the rules. Congratulations. Welcome to the world of strategic dominance.